Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. From wherever you are joining us from, we are glad to have you. Uh, Today, we are excited to host this webinar whereby we will be talking about website integrations and how they impact us in the digital realm. As days go by, things keep changing and new technology keeps on appearing. And as an expert or as a business owner, there is a need for you to adapt and for you to change and to ensure that your business is up to date with these services. I will be your host, Caleb Mutemi, and I am a content lead and web designer at Digital for Africa. I've been in the industry for over 5 years now, and I'm excited to have you on board. So if you're just joining us for this webinar, you can share in the comment section where you're watching us from. We are excited to have you join us today, and we are looking forward to a very engaging talk. And today, without further ado, I'll introduce our speaker of the day, and this is none other than Brian Wamiori. Brian Wamiori is the co-founder and tech lead at Digital for Africa. He is a technology solution provider, majorly in design, a very experienced UX design developer. He has been in the industry for more than 10 years, and he has built multiple websites from leading e-commerce brands well known in Kenya. And we are excited to have him join us today and to talk about websites and the various integration options we have around this. Brian also studied at the Southeastern Kenya University, and he has been one of the people who spearheads the tech team at our company. And personally, I've learned a lot from him, and I'm excited to also hear what he has to say and hear what he has to present to us. I can see that we are joined from Manasseh all the way from Rilo. Thank you, Manasseh, for joining us. So if you, wherever you're watching us from, just drop a comment on the comment section below and we'll be able to start. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome Brian Wamiori. Brian Wamiori, how are you, sir?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for
Yes,
the
yes,
invite. I
mhm.
am honored to be here and to have this
Yes,
discussion with you. Yes, thank you
yes,
so
I
much.
can see. Welcome. I can see Peter has joined us and he's watching all the way from Thika Makongeni. Peter, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you join with us. So, Brian, before we start, probably you can introduce yourself to our audience, tell us a bit more about you and your journey into tech this far.
Thank you so much, Caleb. My journey in tech started in 2007. Back then, I was working with my dad. He had a printing firm, and I was very curious about a few applications, two applications in particular. There was one application called Adobe Illustrator, and I saw it do wonders. Another application was called Adobe Photoshop. And the process of making something in software and finding it in a printed document really fascinated me. I saw there was the capability of doing quite a lot with this device we call a computer. And that's how my curiosity grew in the industry. So shortly after that, I was able to get a laptop. Shortly after that, um, uh, I was able to at least start learning some of these applications. And now we are here. Since then, I've studied and done a lot of things, be it matters to do with design, UX design, graphic design, motion pictures, video animation. We've done it all. I've done it all. I've explored quite a number of things in computing in general, and I've seen there's a lot of potential if you just give it enough time and you study it properly. So that's just a nutshell ever since the beginning. So 2007 till today, still at it, and you're not yet
Wow.
tired. Thank you.
Yes, that's true. Wow, that's nice. It's interesting that how it all starts from a place of interest, and then it develops to somewhere where you actually actualize it. And it's the same case for most techies out there, whereby they get to get a curiosity about something. For your case, it was about how the digital realm interacts with the printing realm, and that blossoms into this. That's a very interesting journey. So before we get started, we had asked people to register to us. If you're joining us, kindly drop a comment in the chat session. Tell us where you're watching us from. And we had people joining us who had pre-filled, and we had people from communications industry. We have IT consultants, web developers, and real estate agents. We have also students, people in sales and marketing. We even have people in the hospitality industry. So if you're joining us, thank you. And we are very honored to have you. And we look forward to an engaging session. Feel free to make drop your questions in the comments below. We'll be answering it after the presentation. So next, we're going into a small brief presentation whereby our speaker of the day is going to spend a few minutes to talk about website integrations, and he'll explain what they are, how they impact us in the website. But let me not prelude. I'm not the speaker. Brian is. So Brian, without further ado, please take center stage. The stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Caleb. Allow me to share my screen. You can bring it up, then we begin. And if I take too much time, because you know me with talking, just alert
Sure.
me and I'll take a pause. So thank you so much. I'll mention quite a number of tools today, so we might not have the time to go in depth into each individual tool, but at least we might do a Google search here and there to be able to just explore more. So we want to discuss website integrations, but before we do so, just let's first understand ourselves. Sorry. Let me just use the Zoom. Okay. Let's understand what we'll be discussing. I'll just introduce myself again briefly and some of the things that I've done. Then we'll go directly to the topic of the day. We'll look at a case study or two when we want to understand what is the need for website integration. Then we'll go and look at a few applications of how we can be able to apply some website integrations. Then now we'll finish with the tools, which I think is among the most important things in this discussion. If you picked up nothing else out of this discussion, just remember that whatever problem that you have, there's a solution out there. In fact, most of the problems that we encounter as techies, as digital people, there's someone who has already encountered it and has thought about a solution. As they say, there's an app for that. I would say also there is a solution for that, or there is an integration for that. So a little bit about me. I consider myself a few things, but I think the thing that I consider myself the most is an entrepreneur. I look at myself as a problem solver, not just on matters technology, but on matters user experience in general. So by that I mean, I have a keen eye for anything where we interact with the real world. So let's say, be it a road, be it people communicating on a billboard and something not communicating the way it should, be it an app, be it a website, you name it. So I've really considered myself someone who understands the intersection between design and technology. So, but at the forefront of it, I'm an entrepreneur and I look for opportunities where people can be able to create value and exchange that value. But also, I'm a developer. I've developed many websites. I've also worked on many apps. I'm a data analyst as well. I've worked with Python. I've worked with also many other data analytics tools. And in general, I'm a consultant in technology. So some of the things, a little bit about me, and you can learn a little bit about me also on our website and also via our LinkedIn, or my LinkedIn rather. On our website, you can quickly just go to digitalforafrica.com and about us. Under the team, you'll see my profile, Brian Wamiori, and also we can connect on LinkedIn. Just search for Brian Wamiori and you will be able to find me. So I have over 15 years of experience in design and technology, and especially where they intersect. So ever since 2007, I've been working, and there's a lot that I've been able to achieve over the years. I've been able to build some of the top websites in the country for brands such as KNBS, which is the most recent, Naivas, which is a few months ago, NMG, and many more, and many more, and many more, just to mention a few. Also, I consider myself to have a unique blend of skills. So it's not just web development or design alone. I've been able to do video in the past. I've been able to do copy or SEO in the past. So there's quite a lot that I've been able to achieve in technology. So let's quickly dive into the matter at hand for today and just discuss what we mean or what it is that we want to achieve with website integrations. And I'll start with a scenario. I'll start with this scenario where, when I look at most modern businesses, at least you would say businesses in 2023, at least every business in 2023 uses technology, even if it's in the smallest of ways. At least every business would use a communication tool such as WhatsApp, would have a phone line where people can call and SMS, would make some use of the internet, would be able to use, let's say, a one laptop or two laptops or whatever number, and maybe have some records on a spreadsheet. So you'd find at least every business uses technology in one way or the other. So, for example, at Digital for Africa, we have been able to use technology in several ways because we have been in business for several years. And you would find all these businesses, as they use technology, there comes a point when one software or one piece of technology needs to communicate with another software, another piece of technology. And I will give just a very simple example. We have our website, and our website has forms, and these forms are for lead collection or lead generation. So when someone fills the form on the website, where exactly does it go? And let's say we were in a scenario where the business has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 salespeople, or even more, let's say even 100. How would you be able to manage that transition between someone makes a call to the business and there's no call center, or someone fills a form, or someone raises a ticket, as most of us have done in technology, and there's no way to be able to communicate between the two systems. And that's where integrations come into play. Like, for instance, at Digital for Africa, on our website, we use WordPress. On ours, as a CRM, we use a technology tool called HubSpot. And when someone fills the form on the website, we are able to see the notification by email, but also the data gets transmitted to the CRM, and whoever is responsible is able to reach out to them and nurture that need, or be able to answer the query in whatever way. So in our instance, most businesses, the simplest of businesses, would use some technology, even if it's just communication tools. They have a banking app, and they have just WhatsApp or just one social account, let's say a Facebook or Instagram. But as the business grows, that single tool will need to communicate with other tools, and eventually with your website as your primary resource. So at Digital for Africa, we have our website on WordPress. We have a CRM on HubSpot. We have an ERP that you would say handles the operational bits. And for anyone who's curious on what an ERP is, it's an enterprise system that enables to manage aspects of a company, be it HR, be it accounting, be it the CRM aspect, and many more. So that could be handled by tools such as Zoho or Odo. Yeah, at Digital for Africa, mostly we use Odo. We have email tools. So you're talking about your Google Workspace or your Zoho. And we also have SMS tools. There's the Mtejas of this world and Africa's Talking. And these are just a few of them. So in a normal day-to-day scenario at Digital for Africa, you would find that one or more people would need to interact with many of these tools, and and we cannot all rely on email for everything. We cannot all rely on email to communicate notifications, but we cannot be able to manage the process for what it is that we want, especially where the website comes into play. And that's where these integrations are very, very important. They will be seeing examples of them, or at least we'll be mentioning them as we move along. So the scenario that usually the situation that is usually there when as a business grows is one day you're handling one or two customers, and it's very easy to send a quote. It's very easy to respond to them via WhatsApp, or make a call to them, or respond to them via SMS or whichever other channel, or even handle them even if they are walking. But a day will come when you'll be getting 50 leads in a day. You'll need to make 10, 20, 30, 40 deliveries in a day. You will need to be able to send um, more than 50 quotations in a day. You'll need to respond to all the people who are responding, let's say via WhatsApp, assuming you have WhatsApp, let's say on the website as a chat feature. What happens? What happens? So, as a business grows, there is that need to really automate some of the things that you are doing in your business. Be it, let's say, responding to customers. When someone responds via a chatbot, they get an automated message very quickly. And we have seen even that already with tools like WhatsApp for business. Or let's say when someone fills a form, they get an automated response. And to be able to work more efficiently, because we cannot keep on hiring infinitely in our businesses, to be able to work more efficiently, even in your particular role, we need to rely on integrations. And website integrations are among the lowest hanging fruits and among the easiest to do, especially when you're using a CMS such as WordPress. So, so as your business grows, start thinking the things that you keep on doing every time. What can be automated? What can be integrated with a tool? The unfortunate things about integration is that they cost some money, especially for the subscription integrations. Let's say you are doing something with HubSpot. So you need to subscribe to HubSpot, and also beyond that, subscribe to an app inside HubSpot. So that is the only demerit I would say. But in terms of efficiency, in terms of making life easier, in terms of making easing the burden for most of the people inside various roles, integrations really do play a key role. So again, just going back to our scenario at Digital for Africa before we move over to some applications of integrations, and even now for specific to our website. Inside email marketing, we use HubSpot. So HubSpot is the one that sends bulk emails to our customers, both potential and existing. For lead collection, we also use HubSpot. So there is a tool integration, and it's a very simple plugin, just a tool integration where you put some piece of JavaScript code, and it's able to reference a HubSpot account and also just add to it and interact with it. For website chats, we use WhatsApp. So the simple WhatsApp that you would see at the very bottom of our website, that's also a simple integration via a plugin. For website security, we use a tool called WordFence. And for analytics, we use Google Analytics and another tool called Hotjar. So a situation usually arises where someone has reached out to you via WhatsApp. That information is not inside HubSpot, and and let's say if you're in a different business and you have e-commerce in your website, you're selling goods or you're selling services even, and you have e-commerce, and you also want to record those sales inside Google Analytics. All those things need to talk to each other, and again, that process needs to be automated. So when someone purchases, something on your website, it is recorded directly as a goal inside your Google Analytics, inside the e-commerce section. So as how possible can these things talk to each other? And by the way, even before we move on, I just want to show you that it is as simple, sometimes finding the right solution or integration is as simple as a Google search, especially once you know the tools that you're using. So for instance, I'll do a simple HubSpot. I've not even done it before. And I'll say HubSpot call app as an example, and I'll see there's certain integrations. Of course, some might not be applicable to our market, but if I go to that resource, I'll be able to see that, yes, there is something that can help me integrate a calling app with HubSpot. And for instance, I can even say now, WordPress website. Let's say you're using Zoho CRM, for example. You forgot to add integration. And you will find there is a plugin, and also there's a tool that we'll be discussing called Zapier that has that solution. So the solution sometimes as simple as a Google search away. They're usually as simple as a Google search away. So if you want any of the tools that you're using to talk to each other, there's usually an integration that can help you do that. We can even try the scenario that we have at hand here, where we have HubSpot and we have WhatsApp. So if I say, I'll find there is a WhatsApp app inside HubSpot that allows the integration, HubSpot, WhatsApp. And there we go. So WhatsApp integration for business. And if I go there, I will find it. So of course, as I said, you will find some of these have a cost element to it. But beyond that, the value that you get from the tool is very, very high. So moving on, what are some of the applications for website integration? There are many. There are very many. But just a few of them. There is e-commerce, and we'll be going through specific tools for each of these applications in the next few slides. And there is payment. I think payment is among the most obvious ones. A lot of people in e-commerce want to be able to integrate M-Pesa with their website. People need to pay via cards. Some people even want to integrate some sort of loyalty programs or whatever it may be. So all that is possible. There's email marketing, where you want to be able to integrate your email marketing tool, be it MailChimp or be it HubSpot in our case, with your website. There's lead collection, so that's where the CRMs come in handy. And in full, a CRM is a customer relationship management system for anyone who might be curious. There's website chats, and I bet all of us have seen this in the websites we visited. There's website security, so sometimes at least you want, you want to be able to integrate and make sure that your website is always online. So in the case of if you have some other external security tools, you can be able to combine the two with your website. And there's also analytics, there's social. I think all of us have gone to a website where they have an Instagram feed inside the website. We have gone to a website where they have their tweets rolling in the website. We've all seen this, and other ways you can integrate. So whatever you want to do, it could be a specific situation in your business. Like what I've seen in some businesses, they want to integrate their POS with their website in such a way the records go into one system. So this even can happen with some tools inside e-commerce, inside your website, without an ERP, without a CRM, using just WooCommerce and WordPress. So let's look at scenarios and tools which can be applicable for each of these. So, and we can start with e-commerce. So e-commerce integration tools, we'll visit a few of them, but most of them it will just be to mention them so that we're able to do more research beyond today. So for e-commerce, or for e-commerce, especially if you're using a CMS such as WordPress, you're better placed to do these integrations easier. But if you're using a customized tool, or you're using your own web app, there need to be some consultation with a developer and how to do some of these integrations. But the good thing is, most of these integrations are enabled via APIs. So you can be able to, and APIs can be able to talk to each other, or help you talk, help tools talk to each other. So, excuse me. So let's look at WooCommerce. If you wanted to use WooCommerce for your POS, for example, or use WooCommerce as a POS, you could use this tool called Open POS. It has a small cost to it, but as soon as you install this tool inside your website, you don't need an extra point of sale to help you uh, make sales, of course. So if you go to Open POS, the website, you can be able to log in and you can be able to interact with it. They have a dummy account, they have a demo account that you can be able to play around with. But just looking at a few of the screenshots on the app, on the website, from the app, you can see that it looks like a fully fledged point of sale. And some of these actually, you can just log into your WordPress and you use a touch screen like you would use in a normal retail situation, and you just tap and it sells. And this is purely e-commerce, and this is purely WooCommerce, and it helps you get sales done. So you can make WooCommerce your primary inventory management system using a tool such as this. And the integration is very, very simple. It's just get the plugin and you're able to move on. Then for payments, still under WooCommerce, WooCommerce is the tool that enables us to do integrations, or not, well, rather, it enables us to do e-commerce inside WordPress. So if you wanted to do integrations for payment, there are several tools that you can mention. There is, of course, the Daraja API, which is the tool by Safaricom to enable us do all sorts of integrations with. Let me do some housekeeping and close a couple of pages. So the Daraja API is Safaricom's own tool to help us integrate whatever we want to integrate with M-Pesa. So it gives you all the things that you want to do with M-Pesa, but it can be a bit technical to work with Daraja, especially if you're an end user. So what I'd recommend is using a plugin, especially if you have WooCommerce WordPress set up. All you just need is a plugin, and you'll be looking at that plugin in the next slide. But you can also use other third-party tools such as iPay. So let me just quickly Google iPay and say iPay integration, and you will see. Let me just quickly e-commerce. Integrating iPay. The search is misbehaving, but let's fix it. I'll get this resource. This is the resource I was looking. It has all the iPay plugins. And one of them, what do you know, is WooCommerce. So if I simply click on this, I'll be able to download that plugin and install it. And just because if you do have an account with iPay, well, you just need to log in inside your website, and then put in the respective keys, and you're done. Of course, I'm not able to show some of these things because they have security keys which are a bit sensitive. So, but it's a very straightforward process. And also the good thing about these third-party solutions is the respective companies offer the needed support to do the integrations. But the thing that I should mention also about all these most of these payment integration tools, Jumbo Pay, PesaPal, and also the international ones such as Stripe and PayPal, the way they make money is via deducting a certain commission from your transaction. So in the case of iPay, they would deduct, or Jumbo Pay, they would deduct, let's say 0.5%, 1%, 2%, 3%, depending on the kind of transaction it is, if it's M-Pesa or if it's card related, or depending on also the currency. There are a couple of costs which are factored in. But there are many more integrations. For instance, if you want to integrate your products with other tools. So by that, I mean the products that are on your website are also found inside Facebook, inside the marketplace, or are also found inside Google Shopping ads. You can use integration tools such as Facebook for WooCommerce, or an integration tool called Google Merchant. So once you plug in these and you're able to authenticate, so in the case of Google Merchant, it's just a simple, straightforward process of authenticating your website inside Google and vice versa. And when you do Google Ads, directly your WooCommerce products will be able to show up. You can do a simple example of that. So for instance, let's say I'm buying laptops. Let me just show you how, let me just be specific. Let's say something like a Lenovo laptop. You will see these ads at the top. This is an integration between WooCommerce and Google Shopping or Google Merchant. So it enables you to put your e-commerce products directly into shopping. So it's a very seamless and simple process that anyone can do. But with a little support from a consultant, it's very possible to do. Then you go about doing your Google Ads. For communication, even inside WooCommerce, you can be able to integrate with your Zoho CRM, your HubSpot, your Gmail, your Slack. So a situation could be where when someone makes an order, you get a notification on Slack telling you to fulfill the order. So that is also very possible. Or when someone makes an order inside your CRM, let's say if it's a service related order, inside your CRM, you invoke a deal. You invoke something that makes you fulfill the order. And that's very possible. For accounting, you can also integrate your WooCommerce with QuickBooks Online. The online version is called QuickBooks Online. You can also integrate with any other accounting tool that has either APIs or online capability. Then we can also integrate our WooCommerce tools or e-commerce tools with analytics. And of course, at the top of the list is Google Analytics and Hotjar. Hotjar enables you to look at micro interactions of what people are doing, where they're clicking, where they're getting stuck, and you are able to support them or help them. And there are many more tools. There are many more ways of integrating WooCommerce. In fact, even before I proceed, let me just quickly show you that WooCommerce has an entire marketplace of tools that you can take advantage of. So I've just quickly Googled WooCommerce Marketplace. This is the wrong result. Let me just quickly go back to the website. Then under extensions, you'll see that there are so many tools over here. Of course, if you go to each respective, depending on your need, you can be able to research more. But even if I were to do a simple search, let's say I have WooCommerce and I have Odoo, for example. as my ERP/CRM. If I hit enter, I'll see something within the marketplace, and there is a tool that charges that amount, which enables you to integrate Odo and WooCommerce, and it has a certain fee to it, which is a monthly fee, but it's billed annually. So when you do the math, if it makes business sense, go ahead and try out some of these tools. I bet a lot of them usually have a trial version, and they can help you really find out if it's the right tool for you. So if I were to do the same even before I proceed with WooCommerce, if I say WooCommerce and maybe Zoho, for example, which is another CRM/ERP. This is now found inside the Zoho marketplace. But there's also something that is within the WooCommerce marketplace. You're able to integrate your Zoho and your WooCommerce. So the same way I was saying, when someone makes an order, you're able to fulfill the order directly inside your app, your CRM, for that matter. Let's proceed. Then payment integration tools. We were not able to go into detail in the previous slide, but we can spend a little bit more time here. But I'd want to really mention two categories of tools, or rather two tools by two different service providers. M-Pesa, all of us within Kenya or East Africa understand mobile money. But in the case where you want to integrate with MasterCard and Visa, or with people paying via card, and you do not want to go the iPay route or the Jumbo Pay route because of the commissions that they charge. Like betting when they are using commissions, or when they are charging commissions, is usually 2.5% of the margin of the entire transaction, sometimes as high as 3% or 3.5%. You might want to take a different route. So which plugins in specific can help you do that? In the case of MasterCard, and this is actually very bank specific. So let's say if you're banking with Equity, they will tell you use this tool. Or if you're banking with the NCBA or Barclays or ABSA, or whichever other bank, they will be very specific on the tool that you can use. So in the case of MasterCard, for instance, a tool that we have used is this tool called WooCommerce MPGS. So once you put this plugin on your WordPress, all you need to do is put in the respective keys, which will be provided by your bank, the merchant ID, the authentication password. So you put all these details. And once you put the details, people will just be able to come and check out with any credit or debit card that has Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or whichever company on it. So if you wanted also to integrate more housekeeping, as the websites will be going to quite many. If you wanted to integrate with Visa, there are several solutions within Visa. And unlike WooCommerce and PGS, Visa solutions, some of them are paid, but you can integrate with quite a number of Visa inbuilt solutions, depending on really how you've been able to use the technologies from Visa. But to be able to see quite a number of them, all I did, or what I'd recommend, is within the WooCommerce website, and just do a simple search for Visa, and you'll see some of these solutions. So there's PesaPal or PayPal payments. There's the authorized.net network for Visa. There's solutions such as CyberSource. But more or less, to simplify this conversation, is ask your bank. If you're banking with whichever bank, ask them, I want to integrate with e-commerce on my website. How do I go about it? And whatever bank you're using will be able to tell you, use this solution, and they'll give you an account for that purpose, and you just do the simple integrations directly on your website. And if you need any help, a consultant can help you, and also a Digital for Africa will be able to help you with that. Then on M-Pesa, the specific plugin that helps you integrate M-Pesa with your website is called M-Pesa SDK WC Master. This has a very unique name because it's still just a GitHub repository. But if I look at it, it has some very quick instructions on how you can integrate with M-Pesa. And it's among the best and efficient tools to integrate with M-Pesa. And it was created by this user called APXCDE. So a shout out to him for just creating such a nice tool that helps us integrate M-Pesa. So the same way people are able to insert their number on our website and hit complete payment transaction, and they see a message just asking them to put a pin on their phone, that's enabled by such tools. So you can be able to check it out later if you want to learn more about it. Then there are so many other tools. I think some of these we've already mentioned. You can go back to iPay, you can go to JumboPay, you can go to PesaPal, you can go to Stripe. And even, by the way, you're not limited to using one tool. You can use 2, 3 combined, by the way. So someone can be able to check out, you can still have on the same website, iPay and M-Pesa. Or you can have just M-Pesa and a card option such as MasterCard. So someone wants to pay via card, so you just right there, pay via card. When they click on that, they will be directed now to that payment method. If they want to pay via M-Pesa, they will also be directed to that respective payment method. And even such tools such as Stripe, let's say you are organizing an event, an international event, and you wanted not even to involve a lot of e-commerce, you just wanted money to go to a Stripe wallet. You can just use a simple form such as WP forms and have a Stripe account connected to a bank or otherwise and receive the money. So even if I were to go to WP forms, let me just quickly look at the pricing so that I'm able to show you the feature set. And I come over here, so these are some of the options. You will see accept payments as one of them. So WP form is just a form plugin. It gives you forms, but with it, you can be able to add the integration for receiving payment from Stripe, from Square, from PayPal, from all these other solutions as well. From all these other solutions as well. So more housekeeping. We will do this until we finish. So Caleb, I hear you want to say something, or should I continue? How many minutes do I have?
You should continue. Let's say in the next 5 minutes.
I'll be done. I'll be done by then. Okay. So let's proceed quickly. We also have tools that can enable us to integrate email with our website. And of course, if you're using a CRM, that CRM will have its respective tool. HubSpot has its respective tool. Zoho has its respective tool. But if you are using none of that, let's say you're using MailChimp or an equivalent, just an email marketing tool on its own, you can be able to integrate it with your website. You can also be able to integrate it with HubSpot or with whichever CRM that you're using. And if I even just may do a simple search, MailChimp, HubSpot, integration. The solutions are just with us. They are looking at us, and we just need to take advantage of them. You will see there is a solution already. So there is a MailChimp app within HubSpot that you can be able to take advantage. You can be able to take advantage of. And by the way, if you have a HubSpot account, if you want to look at the marketplace, once you're logged in, you will see this icon that looks like a shop or the shop icon. So if you click on it, it takes you to the app marketplace, and there are also other marketplaces you can take advantage of. So if I click on that, I'll see all the apps that I can be able to utilize inside HubSpot. So I personally love HubSpot because it has a lot of features, and you can be able to extend it to do quite a number of things. So inside here, or rather on the left, you can see the breakdown of the menu items. So for instance, let's say I wanted something that helps me integrate calling. I can just search that and I'll see quite a number of them. Calling immediately calls your sales team when you get a new lead. So this is quite interesting. Call gear. So you can look at what do you want to achieve and find the tool that helps you do that. Then moving on, we have tools for lead collection. That's now you're respecting CRM, ERP, or even just a simple form. So among my favorite, if you're not using an ERP or CRM, is WP forms. So WP forms helps you collect. We've looked at WP forms when I was mentioning the integration for payment. So if I come here, you will see it's just a simple drag and drop kind of form editor. So in our case, in our website, we use WP forms quite a lot. And also we use HubSpot forms as well. And even when you're building websites, this is among the forms that we utilize for building client websites. Then there are many more tools. I've mentioned HubSpot, I've mentioned Zoho, I've mentioned Odoo, but just worth mentioning are these three tools at the bottom. Google Sheets, Microsoft Excel. Of course, all of us have heard of those two tools. But just to mention, let's say you wanted every time someone fills a form on your website, it goes into a Google Sheet. And you can be able to achieve that with tools such as Zapier. So if I said something such as, let me just quickly go to pricing first. Then I go to search your spread. Sheets. So yes, you can directly integrate Google Sheets with your WP forms. But let's say you're not using WP forms, you're using a different email marketing, lead collection tool, form tool. So if you were to go inside Zapier, you will find that there's a solution for that. So Butterfingers. So I'll say Google Sheets, and I'll come here and I add WordPress as the integration. So if I do that, so it tells me choose a trigger when this happens, when I'll have to flip them. So when I say something like new user, I'll say create spreadsheet row. So when someone registers on our website, now this simply means when someone registers on our website as a user, we will create a row with their details inside a Google Sheet that is connected to the website. And we will be able to do that using Zapier. By the way, Zapier is free and up to 100 zaps. That means you can do a few triggers or connections using Zapier for free before you get the limit and you need to pay, especially if you're starting out. So as I conclude, because time is not on our side, website chat integrations, of course, I think among the best ones is my personal favorite is Join Chat, which helps you integrate. That's a typo. This should actually be WhatsApp. Helps you integrate WhatsApp, HubSpot, as well as Zoho Sales IQ. So there's always an integration tool that can help you do some sort of communication. So for instance, inside the ones in relation to a CRM, you can move a customer from a chat and take them or add their details into the CRM, very seamlessly, very, very seamlessly. And last but not least, security tools. We have WordPress and Pingdom, which I've mentioned before as we were moving along. I've mentioned at least WordFence and analytics tools. I've also mentioned Hotjar and Google Analytics. But just to mention, in case you feel integrations are they feel too jargonic, and sometimes they also feel too out of this world, or you need a developer, just check out Zapier. It has quite a number of tools that can be able to help you integrate whatever tool you're thinking of. So even the example that they have on their website, you have a new sales lead, especially when you have a Facebook campaign, automatically create a record inside Salesforce. Salesforce is just but one of the many CRMs which are out there. Or that could be Zoho, that could be HubSpot, that could be Sugar CRM, that could be so many other, that could be Copper, that could be any whatever CRM you're using. Then automatically send a text or a team message. So we have seen someone who has reached out on the new lead, and we've gotten that message on Slack. Then we push a campaign via MailChimp. So all this is simply automated, and you don't need to have any expertise or coding knowledge to do it. So check out Zapier to be able to help you do these integrations a little bit easier. And if you need more help, by the way, we are partners with Zapier, we are partners with HubSpot, we are partners with Zoho, and we can be able to help you in some of these solutions if you need any help, if you need any technical help. So that's it. Back to you, Caleb. Thank you so much for allowing me to share what I had.
Thank you a lot,
Thank you,
Brian.
Sana.
Thank you, Tia. That was a very informative and engaging session. Thank you for even using illustrations and taking the extra time to just go into detail and explain further. I'm sure it has helped a lot. What I can say I've picked up personally, good, was also learning, and I've realized that number one, someone should not be afraid to do research. Some of these solutions, they are even as easy as a few Google searches or a few articles away from being possible. And secondly, I think the most key takeaway for me is that communication via these applications is key, and that none of them is an island on its own. And once they are able to communicate with each other, the automation between the apps is also an essential part. So as we get
Caleb, kindly check your mic. I think there's a bit of a scratch or an echo. Just check your mic.
sorry about that. Minute.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You're on mute. Okay.
Yeah, just
Great.
confirm if it persists. If it persists, then I think it's a technical issue, which is I'll get to see how to resolve it. But as I was saying, as we come to the end of this webinar, it has been a great session with our director. We had some questions that had been pre-streamed, Ryan. Probably I'll just go ahead and ask you a few. We had Lydian who had asked, how does web integration work? But I think that you have intensely covered well in that presentation. So that's answered. Then there's someone who's Jacqueline, who's a PR practitioner, asking, where's the best place to start as a total beginner, and how marketable our website when it comes to this day and age?
I would say start with the tools. Whatever tools, identify first the tools that a business can use, the CRM they can use, something that's within their reach. Be it HubSpot has a free account, so that could be a starting point. Or identify a tool that they can use. Then now from there, whatever tools that they are using, find the integrations that are available for those tools. Like I've showed, HubSpot wants to integrate with WhatsApp. There's a tool for that. HubSpot wants to integrate with MailChimp. There's a tool for that. Your website needs to integrate with some payment, there is a tool for that. So if you to be able to just understand the tools that businesses use, then now from there understand how they can talk to each other. Those are the two main steps that you can take to get started. It doesn't require a lot of expertise. Yes.
Okay, that's nice. So discover a tool and then see how it impacts the business. Thank you for that. I hope that answers the question, Jacqueline. Also, we had a worker who had asked that if they want to focus on user interface when it comes to, for example, an industry like the tours and travel, what should be the main primary focus? Okay.
I think the way in the past, the focus was on the focus in development was very specific to industries and tasks. So you defined there is a tool that is very specific to people in hospitality, and that is true till today. But the good thing is that the tools which are being developed these days, they cut across multiple industries. They cut across multiple categories. So you don't need to stick to one solution to be able to, you don't need to stick to one specific solution to be able to get help. Or you don't need to stick to think about one category to be able to get help. A good example is payment. Money is money. Payment is payment. Or payment integration is payment integration, regardless of the nature of your business. So I would really be more inclined to looking at what is the need, what is the task, as opposed to focusing mostly on we have this kind of business. So if the need is we need to be able to do a certain thing for our customers or with our customers, that's the point of research. That's the point where you look for the tool that can do that, as opposed to let's look for a task, something that can fulfill the task for our business or our category, which is very hard to find. And you will find a tool like HubSpot can help you do operations. A tool like Zoho projects can help you manage fully fledged project management tools. Can do a project, can help you in project management. A tool like Fellow can help you even do software project management. So it's not necessarily about the task and finding something too niche, but also finding something that can be has the support, has the marketplace, and also is available and is cost friendly as well. A lot of people have really burnt their fingers trying to get a customized tool for their industry, and usually they end up with something that is changing them. So I would always recommend look at the task and be more open to a general solution as opposed to something that's very mission specific that might be troublesome.
Well, very well answered. I think this is the best choice to also mention to our viewers that as a citizen of Africa, we all offer website development services. You can visit the link in the comment section to see more about how we go about with website development. And if you have a need for a business need to develop a website, you can fill the form and reach out to us, and we'll be able to engage with you further. I think I'll go to the last question, Brian, and then conclude.
Yes.
So the last question is from two people, which is combined. One person was asking about how do you go about in transferring of hosts, and then the second one was does the choice of a hosting company really matter when it comes to web development?
I'll start with the first one on transferring of hosts. Normally, the thing that you're transferring is a domain. So in the domain transfer, it's usually you buy the domain on the new company that you're transferring to, and the old company gives you the authority to move the domain they just unlock the domain for you. And the good thing is that the companies that you're dealing with in transferring a domain can help you and support you to get it done. It's not something you have to do 100% on your own. Then the second question was on, at least I'll say B of that section is you're transferring the domain, but also the contents of the website. So it's usually backup on this side, then restore the backup on the other side. In the case of WordPress, we just back up the entire website, install WordPress on the other side, and we do the same. If you're using an app, you set up the necessary environment on one side, then you set up on the new side, then you just transfer the necessary data, or you reconnect or repoint or do whatever you need to do. So it's a very simple process or straightforward process to do. Yeah, it might seem difficult, but once you do it once or twice, it's very possible. Yeah. The other question, you had another question?
Yes, the second one was, does hosting matter? The company that you choose as a hosting provider.
Definitely it does. Without mentioning names, maybe that's something you can come to us privately. Without mentioning names, our preference has always been, if your users are in Kenya, honestly, the host that makes sense is someone with servers in Kenya. If it's unless otherwise, if your users are in a different country, so let's say if a hosting company has the offices in Kenya, but their servers are in the US, technically, all users in Kenya are accessing a website which is in the US. And if you don't have any infrastructure that is helping you do some caching, let's say such as Cloudflare that has a data center in both Nairobi and Mombasa, you'll be, every time people will be accessing that website from the server in the US, and it can take, and you'd find your website is not as quick or not as efficient, not as swift as other websites, just because of that reason. Yeah.
All right, I think that answers it. Thank you very much, Brian, for joining us today and for taking the time to take us through website integration. And as previously said, it was an engaging session, and I'm sure our viewers really enjoyed it and learned a lot from it. So, any closing remarks as I release you? Then I do finishing.
Yes, I'd like to say at Digital for Africa, we offer many of these services in web development, and we also have a good understanding of the tools that would aid a business get to the next level. So if you're looking to really simplify your digital conversation, you can come to us and we'll be able to help you with that conversation. So if you're looking to build a website, look at some of the websites we built on our if you go to our website under web design, you will find there are several of them. If you're looking at training in some digital skills, we also have quite a number of trainings for that. We have a training for digital marketing, which is for 2 days and a month mentorship. We have a training also for web design, and we can teach you how to build websites. A lot of our staff are beneficiaries of that training. We also have specialized trainings for corporates. So most recently, we finished a training for data analytics and machine learning for a specific parastatal in Kenya. So we have several trainings within Digital for Africa, and any conversation in relation to data analytics, digital marketing, website development, SEO, tools, we can be able to help you in that. So reach out to us. Thank you so much, Caleb. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Brian. So that's it from us. To our viewers, thank you for joining us. Feel free to reach out to us via the contact in our website. If you have any question, we'll be able to answer you. And from wherever you're watching us, if it's a great time, have a wonderful day. If it's at night, do enjoy your sleep. And until next time, I have been your host, Kale Mutemi, and see you next time. Bye-bye.